Switzerland, 2018. Another year to celebrate the love of all things Swiss. But first, a few introductions. Meet Filippo David. We call him Sketchy, in a nice way, of course. Filippo is the CSO, or Chief Sketching Officer, at Sketchy Solutions. He grew up in Ticino, the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, studied in the French-speaking region, and then moved to the capital in Bern. And this is David Andres, filmmaker and drone pilot extraordinaire. David lives just over the border in France and is one of 322,000 cross-border commuters who come to work each day in the peaceful Alpine nation. And I'm Tony Johnston, video producer from the land down under, and I've been living in Switzerland for 10 years, still trying to master the art of saying "Gijs Geurgli." I've certainly mastered the art of eating them, that's for sure. We apologise in advance if this video is a bit drawn out and for the cheesy puns. So let's have some fun and get this show on the road. Welcome to Grindelwald, in the heart of the Bernese Oberland. Swiss mountains cover 60% of the total land area. The Alps have more high peaks than any other European country, with 48 above 4,000 metres. Switzerland's land area would actually be 12.5% bigger if the mountains were flattened out. But then there'd be no Matterhorn, and flat Toblerone just wouldn't be the same. And if you're up for a walk, to burn off some of those famous cheese pies and Swiss chocolate, there are 60,000 kilometres of signposted hiking trails. So don't be offended when you come to Switzerland if someone tells you where to go.
Put your flags up and raise them high. We're going for the gold, we'll get the prize.
At the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea, Switzerland came 7th in the overall medal rankings, with 5 gold, 6 silver and 4 bronze. Success at the Paralympics as well, with Switzerland taking home 3 gold medals. Not so lucky at the Ice Hockey World Cup in May. It came down to a penalty shootout against Sweden, which sometimes gets confused with Switzerland. Or was it Swaziland? Anyway, the entire nation were on the edge of their seats shouting "Hop Schweiz, Swiss, Svizra." In the end, it was a silvery finish for the Swiss, losing 3-2 to Sweden. I'm happy to report that the correct flags were flown at the medal presentation. Football World Cup, and it wasn't the year for the Swiss, who will have to be content with being the host nation for both the international and European football federations, along with over 45 other international sporting organisations. To Roger Federer.
Swing it like Roger.
You've only got to say his name and the crowd goes wild. I mean, what record hasn't he broken in 2018? Winner of the most men's singles Grand Slams ever, he's also the oldest men's #1 in tennis history, at the ripe old age of 36. Plus, we've decided to present him with our own award for the world's nicest, coolest, funniest, generous, all-round good guy and top bloke tennis award. Hey Roger, if you see this video, please leave a comment or serve up a like. It might just help us to score a few more gigs. Cost of living in Switzerland isn't cheap, you know. Go on, Rog. Just do. Be unique, low. By the way, happy birthday for August 8. Swiss trains, we love them. 89% on-time punctuality in 2017, and the best rail service in Europe, according to the Great Train Comparison Report. Earlier in 2018, famous Indian Bollywood actor Ranveer Singh had a train named after him on the scenic Golden Pass line between Montreux and Gstaad. The hills were alive with the sound of Bollywood music. It's believed that more than 200 Bollywood films have been made in Switzerland over the years. Swiss trains carry 1.26 million passengers every day, or about 15% of the population, on 10,671 train services. Still no free Wi-Fi on board, but hey, who needs screen time when you have some of the world's most amazing views outside the train? Some stations are now smoke-free, which the non-smokers among us certainly appreciate. And the well-known public announcement voices heard on Swiss trains could soon disappear, with new automated voices being trialled in 2019. Won't be quite the same without hearing those familiar voices from above.
Next stop, Geneva.
Speaking of voices from the heavens, the Pope paid a holy visit to international Geneva in June, and hats off to the Swiss guards who've been protecting the Pope for over 500 years. Not the same guards, obviously. In fact, their new helmets will be Swiss-made by 3D printers using lighter, high-tech materials. International Geneva, with 39 international organisations and over 250 permanent missions, continues to be a hub for international diplomacy, human rights, world trade negotiations and NGO activities. Switzerland remains firmly committed to the Sustainable Development Goals and the 2030 Agenda for a Better World. Innovation continues to power Switzerland. Once again, the Swiss registered the highest number of EU patent applications per person in 2017. And both the National Technical Universities, EPFL in Lausanne and ETH in Zurich, were rated in the EU's top 10 most innovative universities. ETH was also ranked the 7th best university in the world by QS Rankings. Startups are sprouting across the country like wild mushrooms in the forest. And Swiss blockchain and cryptocurrency companies are coining a new world in Zug, which is also known as Crypto Valley. To the moon, as the Swiss crypto fans would yodel. Or perhaps Mars, but the chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1. So Swiss researchers from the Uni of Basel and the Swiss Space Exploration Institute have built a Martian garden to simulate conditions on the red planet and test the Swiss-made close-up imaging camera, which will join the ExoMars mission in 2020. We could also drone on about robots and cutting-edge artificial intelligence programs, but we thought you might want to see more of the real deal. Digital Switzerland is taking off as the world's home of drones. Retired Swiss biophysicist Jacques Debouchet gets a special mention this year, co-winner of the 2017 Nobel Prize in Chemistry and author of a must-see CV that begins with the line, "Conceived by optimistic parents in 1941. A gentleman and a scholar. Congratulations, Jacques." So, as the sun sets over the magnificent World Heritage listed vineyards of Lavaux, we couldn't finish the video without a mention of the Swiss classics. Swiss cheese, yes please. Swiss chocolate, oh go on then, if you insist. Apparently ruby-coloured Swiss chocolate is the next big thing. Swiss watches, sorry, we don't have the time or money, but we do know that Swiss watches are going high-tech and getting smart. Even Swiss wine is starting to rate a mention around the world. Yes, Swiss wine, but that's for another video. Santé. And my Swiss Army knife, which will come in handy for cutting the cervelat and the vegetarian option for Filippo for our traditional National Day barbecue. August 1st, celebrating the Federal Charter, the Pacte de Grödli of 1291, when Schwyz, Uri and Unterwald swore an oath of confederation, and then the Swiss Federal Constitution formally declared in 1848. Switzerland, you're an amazing place. Happy birthday.